Hey there, Book Dragons. Welcome to the first episode of Sprinting with Chaz. Let me know if you can hear the music in the background, if it's too loud. I tried to add some ambient music in the background. I don't know if that's everybody's thing, but if you can hear it, let me know. If it's distracting, let me know. I'll turn it off. But yeah, we're here to we'll chat a little bit. We'll read some. So if you've got some books that you need to get reading, if you need to get some reading done, here we are. I am your friend today. I will help you read. So I've got my book here, Peace and Turmoil. I'm currently reading by Elliot Brooks. So I'm going to be reading that today. My friend Mona Lisa Reads, who is in the process of starting her own channel, which is in the description below. You can check the links below and find her channel. She is going to be joining me, and so is Kay from Kay's Hidden Shelf. She's going to be joining me. So at some point, she'll be showing up later if she's able to show up. So, but yeah, we're just gonna read. Feel free to, if you want to chat with me, that's fine. I might not reply to comments in a timely manner because I'm here to read, right? But if I see your comment, I'll try to respond. Feel free to chat. It's all good. But this is my first time ever doing reading sprints, so bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think you need to know what you're doing for reading sprints. You just need to know how to read. So, yeah. Hey, Michael, how are you? Glad you joined up. Oh, cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah, love the Dark Tower. I'm glad you came on. So glad you found me. And hey, no worries, man. It's totally fine. I've definitely been called worse. So you're good. No worries. But yeah, I'm glad you came on. If you want to get some reading done, have at it, man. That's what we're here for. As I said before, let me know if you can hear the music. I don't know if you really can. I shared it in the stream, but I don't know. So, all right. So, what are you reading, Michael? What are you currently reading? And no rush to reply either. So I'll kind of keep an eye out. And I think I'll wait for Mona Lisa to get here in a couple of minutes, and then I will probably start this. My plan is to probably do about 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then see how things are. If we want to keep going for reading sprints, we can. If not, we can end the stream, but I desperately need to get some reading done, so we'll see how that goes. So you're reading The Bone Hunters. Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, book 6 of Malazan. Well, hello, Mona Lisa.
Hey,
Welcome.
hi, friend.
Yeah, Michael. So I eventually want to get back to Malazan. I temporarily DNF'd the series. I didn't finish Memories of Ice, but eventually I want to get back. It's just I'm not in the right headspace to tackle Malazan right now. So, but good. Welcome. So you're here. Yay! Yeah, our first official live stream together. I already talked about your channel, but I'm going to mention it again.
Okay.
Because now that I mentioned it twice, everybody can help me to encourage you to get started.
Well, okay. To be
Did
fair,
film a video. She
I'm sorry. My husband's being an idiot right now, so I'm having a very hard time concentrating. And he's good at that. So,
right.
no. So, okay. To be fair, I've done the first video. I've recorded it, but I can't figure out how to edit. And husband has been in some training for a brand new job.
Hmm.
So he's normally the tech person, and so he hasn't had time to really help me. So
Right.
we did figure out that on my computer they have the Microsoft video editing software. So I think I'm going to try that, and then just practice and try to figure out the Resolve, because I do like the setup of Resolve. It gives you a lot of options, but I just need to get the video edited at this point, because you've only been waiting for like a month for me to get it done.
It's all good. Yeah, no rush. I put the link to your channel in the description below, so everybody can click on it and subscribe, because she will be putting content out. So we're very excited about this.
And we've come up with the game plan of when I really want to go off and off on a rant, I'm going to put your picture above the camera and pretend I'm talking to you, because I'm still not comfortable in front of the camera.
Right.
But Lord knows at Marco Polo, I can go on a rant.
Oh boy, yes you can, and that's quite all right. For those of
Yeah.
you who don't know, I have known Mona Lisa Reeds for 20 plus years. We went to college together.
3.
Uh, we put up with each other for a long time, and it all goes back to a man named Dwayne, but we won't get into that.
No, I feel like Dwayne needs to at least watch this part, and then he's going to ask us, like, how does it come back? I don't know if he knows.
I don't know if he knows exactly how much trouble he has caused.
Well, is it trouble or has it been lots of fun? I'm going to go with the second one because it's been fun knowing you.
I'm going to pull a Dwayne and say yes.
Well, yeah, that's a Dwayne right there.
Oh,
So,
well,
yeah,
cool.
no, if you think about it, we met in 99,
Mhm.
no, 98. So it's like 20, going on 24 years.
Yeah, long time.
Yep.
Long time. You put up with me for that long.
Well, and you put up with me. So, I mean, you put up with my brother, but then again, you do like him better than I. So,
I wouldn't say that.
oh, that's what you said that night at dinner.
I did. Okay. Well,
Let's go back to the live we did on Death on the Nile, and remind you about what you said about me that night at dinner, the night before.
I don't even remember, to be perfectly
Oh,
honest.
okay, of course, selective memory.
Hey, I'm getting old. What can I say?
That is
Although
true.
you and
You
I are
are
about
older
the same
than
age,
me.
so stands to reason.
Yeah. So if anybody wants dirt on Chaz, or wants to know what Chaz is like in real life, I'm a pretty good judge. Like, yeah.
It can't be, the dirt can't be all bad, or else she wouldn't have stuck with me this long.
It's not, I mean, you know this. I mean, recently over the last couple of years, you have become one of my closest friends. And so I don't stick around with people that, I mean, I do probably longer than I should with some people, but I mean, for the most part, I don't invest my time and my energy into relationships that aren't good. So no, it's been good having you as a friend, which I find interesting because I think back in college, I don't think I would have ever thought we'd be this close.
Right. Yeah. I don't think so, looking back myself. Yeah. We
Yeah.
were still good friends, but not
Mhm.
nearly as close as we've become.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you've had to go through what you went through, and I've had to go through what I went through to bring us to. I mean, we've always stayed in touch. I visited you when you were in California, but I think we've kind of gone through stuff to a point where we've kind of been able to meet together and talk about our stuff. So, yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, she she welcomed me into her home, into her and her husband's home a couple of months ago, or yeah, more than a couple of months ago now.
Yeah.
So the fact that she let a vampire like me across the threshold, says something. So
I've had worse in my house, so
yeah, yeah, yep.
yeah. I'm not gonna say who or anything, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
I've had worse in my house. So yeah. No, actually, if you want like an easy, chill guest house in your home, invite Chaz. Like legit, you're the easiest guest house we've ever had in our house. We're like, he can come back anytime. This was easy. This was cake. Like, we were good. So, yeah. And it was so much fun. We were bummed when you left. You left, and we were kind of like, so what do we do now? That was fun.
Well, there you have it, folks. If you want a dinner guest or just a guest for the weekend or what have you, apparently I'm available and I'm really good. So, oh, cool.
So, you're welcome back to our house anytime. So,
thank you.
Yes.
So I kind of let everybody know kind of what the game plan is.
Okay.
Kayla from Kay's Hidden Shelf said she might join us later.
Cool.
So she might pop on, but other than that, it's just you and me. I figured we'd do, what do you think, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then kind of take a break and see where we're at and
see if anybody new has joined and wants dirt on you. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yep. So
maybe talk about what we've read. So, what are you going to read? I don't even know exactly what you're going to read.
I have Peace and Turmoil right here, so I am going to read that.
Did you put a cover on it? Or is
No,
that the
I took the dust cover off.
Okay. See, I have the paperback of that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So that's why I was like, what'd you do to it? So.
Yeah, I have a hardback, and the dust cover already had like a tear in it, so I didn't want it to get damaged further, so I took it off. But
I'm kind of surprised that it's blue, though. I thought it would have like a purple hardcover because of... Is the hardback cover and the paperback the same picture? Same look?
No, actually the naked hardback is just blank. There's no...
No, but I mean the cover, like the paper cover, this...
Oh, yeah, it's white and purple.
Right, and it has like the snake thingy with the smoke. So that's why I'm saying, because the purple is the dominant color with a little bit of blue and the jewel. I'm just kind of wondering, and I'll go grab my book so that on our next, or Matt can hand it to me, so we can show people what it looks like. I just thought because there was so much purple on the cover, on like the paperback, that the hardback would be purple and not blue. So I was just surprised.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and this is actually gray. Although it shows up. I think the color's kind of off on my camera, but yeah, it shows up more of a blue. But it's
even still, I'm surprised it's gray and not purple of some sort. So.
I totally get it. Yeah, because a lot of naked hardbacks now, they're coming out with like all these fancy colored naked hardbacks and stuff underneath the covers. So yeah.
So okay, I'll have Matt, when he walks by, bring me the paperback because it's over there, and I can, during the next break, we can show what it looks like, since you don't have the cover with you.
Okay.
So how far are you into it?
No?
Huh?
Ambient music or no?
Music? I don't care.
I don't know. Can you even hear this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can hear it.
I'll turn it down.
How far are you into Peace and Turmoil?
I am, let's see, I am on page 208. So yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way through. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so. And I'm doing, as you know, I just finished the name. I'm doing Neverwhere.
Yep. So excited.
I'm liking it so much better than Ocean. I really wanted to love Ocean like you do, but we both know I didn't. So.
I get it. And like you were telling me earlier that you thought you would like the Graveyard book more as well, which I think you will. Graveyard book's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'm saving that for October along with Coraline. And I forgot you're doing Frankenstein and Dracula, so I'll reread those with you just so we could discuss them. So you kind of need to let me know when in the month you're reading these books so I can kind of plan everything else around it. But yeah. So I'm on one.
I'll probably end up knocking out Dracula and Frankenstein early in the month.
Okay.
Hopefully. That's my goal. So
yeah. And I may do it on my Kindle so I can take notes because I don't have a physical copy of either one. So, and I think if we're going to talk about it, just so I can take a few notes, I don't know. We'll see. So,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, let's see. Trying to.
Is anybody watching us, or is it just us right now?
Yeah, we have one person. If Michael is still on, he's watching us. He might be reading with us. I'm not sure. So,
He's just watching us babble at the moment.
right, he's just watching us babble.
The scary thing is if it's just you and I doing this, we could just babble about lots of things at this point. So
We could. Yeah.
we need to just start reading and not stop talking.
Exactly. So I'm going to set a timer on my watch for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And go. We're good.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Have fun reading, my friend.
Yeah, you too. Hey there, guys. Thanks for popping on. Thanks, Mason. I appreciate the support. We're kind of boring today, just reading. First time doing reading sprints, but I'm so glad you popped on to join us. Thanks. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Oh, we can take a little break here, and if you want to chat for a few minutes, we can. I made it to page 221, so not too bad, about 13 pages.
I did. I don't know. I did like 10, but I reposted to my Instagram, had the hubby grab the Peace and Turmoil book, and then I found where I needed to be in the audiobook for it. So I had Neil
Okay.
Gaiman reading to me. So
Oh, cool. Awesome. How you doing, Chadia? Good to see you.
hello. I don't know you, but hi.
Yeah, this is Mona Lisa Reads. Chadia has been following me for a while.
You know what's funny? I didn't follow you for like the first year and a half.
Right?
I'm a bad friend.
Nah.
I don't know why. I don't think I knew about it right away. And then when I did, I'm like,
oh, interesting.
That's so weird. Yeah, because we weren't talking a lot like 3 years ago. Like we would chit chat here and like think about it, like we would go months without talking, and I just somehow didn't know you were doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I heard you were doing it, I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. And then I was like, you know, but then we got talking about something. And I was like, well, I'll go check it out. I'm a friend. Why am I not supporting my friend? So.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you did. And now you're going to be joining BookTube. So.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I know I'm going to join.
Now you're going to be doing BookTube. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
I'm fine. And you guys, what are you reading? Oh, cool. So I'm reading Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks. And you're reading Neverwhere.
Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
So, and since I said we would show it, so this is, I mean, the paperback, is this what yours? Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what mine looks
Matt
like.
just got me the paperback, which I was happy with.
Absolutely. And it's a nice floppy one too. So
yeah. So, and you can see I only have 2 tabs. Wait, where is it? Right there.
Yeah.
2 little tiny tabs in the first like 3 pages I read.
And that's very few tabs for you to begin with too. So
yeah. Well, I mean, you and I talked about, I got stuck. I didn't get stuck, but I started reading other things and just haven't made it back to it yet. So, but I want to read it in the next month. So, yeah. But you keep doing stupid things like, let's read Ocean at the End of the Lane. Let's read Dark Matter. Oh, I'm reading this. And I'm like, I want to read that with you too. So everything I have planned just kind of goes to the wayside. So
yeah, that happens. Yeah,
you're a troublemaker.
I am. I'm such a troublemaker. I just pick all these books that you just have to read, right? So
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chadia, what are you reading? You don't know what we're reading. Are you reading anything? And I'm doing okay. It's not a bad Sunday.
Yeah.
I've gotten stuff done. Folded all that laundry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I was reorganizing my room, I was listening to an audiobook then. So I've gotten a decent amount of reading done even before doing this. So yeah.
Today you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were just rearranging your room.
Well, I was, but I was listening to an audiobook while I did it. So yeah. Chadia says, I never tag books. Is that something you do to make reviews or just for yourself? Yeah, it just depends. I mean, book tags can help with doing reviews.
But do you do it?
What's that?
You don't tag. Well, you tag in your Kindle, but you don't. I haven't never
Oh,
seen
I'm
you tag
sorry.
a physical book.
I don't know. I'm thinking like book tag. Yeah, never mind. Tabs. Yeah. I'm sorry. I do tabs on occasion, but it's rare for me. If I'm reading a physical book and I feel like I need to, I did have quite a few tabs for House in the Cerulean Sea when I read
Mhm.
that. And I was tabbing quite a bit in Hitchhiker's Guide as well. But I don't do it very often. Mostly because I mostly read ebooks. So
Yeah. But I know you've highlighted some of your ebooks too, though.
yeah.
You've mentioned that. Okay,
That's
so for
true.
me, huh?
I do highlight in my ebooks. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. And she said she did means tabs. I'm sorry. Hey,
Yeah.
no, yeah, not a problem.
I knew
Yeah,
what you meant.
yeah. She knew
You
what you
meant.
meant. I didn't. I was, yeah,
See, I'm on the same wavelength. I read what they mean.
yeah.
No, okay, so if you watched our um Death on the Nile, you know I tabbed the heck out of that book.
You did.
And Buddy read Secret Adversary. I know we need to do that live. And I tabbed that one, but I don't feel like I tabbed as much
hmm
as I did Death on the Nile. So for me, I tab it so that, especially with Agatha Christie, because there's so many characters typically, and there's so many things that are happening. I
hmm
tab them so that I can kind of go back and be like, okay, I need to look at this character or whatever. So I don't do it with every book. And some books I purposely don't do it because I just want to read to enjoy it. But then I'm like, I'm going to go back and read that book to tab like the world building or the things I loved or the characters I hated or loved or whatever. So it depends on the book. Do I think it will come handy when I actually get the YouTube channel up and started and going somewhere? Yes. Because
Yeah,
I'll probably use that as notes. Can you flip the light on?
Mhm.
So,
I can definitely see why it's handy. Yeah.
yeah.
Chadia is reading The Girl in the Tower. Chadia, that is one of my favorite series, and actually, the third book, The Winter of the Witch, is so far still my favorite book of the year.
I know nothing about what you two are talking about.
Oh yeah, it's the Winter Night trilogy. So the Bear and the Nightingale, the Girl in the Tower, and the Winter of the Witch. Yeah, so it's that series.
I've debated on reading that or not. You can tell me, would I like it? Is there anything
Oh,
in
I
it?
definitely think you would like it, Christina.
So no
Yeah.
trigger stuff I need to be careful of?
No, not really. I
Okay,
mean,
good.
there's yeah, it's a lot of folklore. It's
Okay.
very
I
heavily
knew
into
that about it
folklore.
from Russia.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Russia. So
Okay.
yeah, I definitely think you would like it. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Words of Radiance. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a great book. That's one of my favorite Stormlight books. So that's book 2 of the Stormlight Archive.
And another book I haven't read.
One day.
I've got to get to it.
They're chunky. So you have to be in a mood to do a chunky book for those.
Yeah, but I don't mind. But also, you're welcome. I also need to start reading Sanderson since hubby bought me the whole kit and caboodle for his big, 4 mystery books and the boxes and stuff for anniversary. And
Right.
I've never read a Sanderson book, so it seems like I should read them.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that would be a good plan.
Yeah, that might need to happen in the next 4 months.
It might possibly, yes.
I've got to sit down and figure that out. So, amongst everything else I'm reading,
Yeah, I know. So many books, and yeah, you'll end up probably reading a lot more books when you start your channel, because that's what it did for me. I got into a lot more reading than I would normally do.
But just having been talking with you about books and things that you like and watching other booktubers, but merely just you and I talking, you're a lot of the reason my TBR is the way that it is. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
I'm gonna be nice and thank you, not say mean, nasty things
I
to
may be a
you.
thorn in your flesh, but I'm a good thorn, I hope. So
Usually.
maybe start with Mistborn. Yeah, Mistborn is great. I still need to start Mistborn Era 2. I have not started that yet, and now that series will be complete, so I'm probably going to start it soon.
So I find it interesting that she says to start with Mistborn because you told me maybe it'd be better to start with Elantris, so now I don't know.
Either one is honestly good. They're both really good. I mainly suggested Elantris because it's a one-off. Well, there may be a sequel at some point, but
Great.
as of right now, it's a standalone book and it works good as a standalone. So it's a good way to get your feet wet with Sanderson, but so is Mistborn. So yeah, either one is good, and you have both of them. So, so
Okay, what did Alvin say?
oh yeah, so yeah. Words of Radiance is over 1,300 pages. Yes, it is. And you're at 1138. That's pretty good.
You're so close. So are you doing the sprints with us to get to 1,200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you joined with us in the sprints. And we're probably going to do some more in a minute.
Yeah, so this is what I find interesting. People are like, well, I could have read 2 or 3 more books at this point if I wasn't reading this 1,300 book. But here's the thing about reading a 1,300 page book. You get so immersed in the world, especially if you're enjoying it. Like, I find reading a 1,300 page book worth it if you're enjoying what you're reading. Yeah, you could read 3, 4 books, whatever, if you hadn't done the 1,300 chunker.
Yeah.
But you've been missing out on the world that you're really enjoying reading a 1,300 page book. So kind of depends on what you want to do with your time or what you want to be reading. So I'm not against a chunker. I read Gone with the Wind. That's a chunker.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Gone with the Wind.
1,000 pages.
I still have not read that. I don't really think I have any desire to, but
don't. Yeah. You'll hate it. You'll DNF it so quick.
I'm sure I will. Yeah.
Don't even waste your time.
I've seen the movie twice, and
really,
yeah, I've seen it twice. Once when I was really young, and then once in around college when I started college, and that was it. So,
who'd you watch that with?
Huh?
Did you watch that with all the guys in the dorm in the SAC?
No.
Okay, SAC. I have to explain the SAC. Student Activity Center, not in, like, they weren't all huddled in bed together.
Right. But there was a running joke because it was called the SAC.
I'll see you in the SAC. And, you see them when you're on the phone in public, and people look at you like... So, like, you and the guys, all the dorm guys would go to the SAC and watch Gone with the Wind. I wish I had been there for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite fun. So, okay, Mistborn is the only one that Chadi has read from him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of great ones. I will say that you feel the length of Way of Kings a lot more than you do Words of Radiance. Words of Radiance goes a lot quicker, but they're both really good books. It's just Way of Kings, you feel how long it is.
Gotcha.
It's very slow getting going, but it's good. I have that with Hobbes. Some people say it's too long. I love it so much that I just want more.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Both Chaz and I were like,
that's okay. You can call me Charles.
I know you don't care. We were talking about how we were like, we enjoyed the ending of Assassin's Apprentice, but like we were also bummed that it ended because we wanted to like continue in that world. So I'm glad it's a trilogy. So we have 2 more books, but I remember we were both commenting going, man, that was good. It's a really slow burn. It was like a slow burn, but it like constantly had you moving forward and you constantly wanted to know what was going to happen next. So yeah, that's how I feel.
There's so many other books to explore in that world too. So I'm excited. Get to Royal Assassin next month. That's the plan.
I will too if my library. Oh, hey,
Hi,
Kayla.
Kayla. Welcome. I'm glad
Hello.
you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine. We just finished our first sprint a couple of minutes ago, and we've been chatting about different books, finding out what everybody else in the stream is reading.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got Chadi on here and Alvin and a few others. So joining the stream. So
And it's probably good you interrupted us because we just can chit chat. So
yeah, absolutely. We can just keep going. So
I don't think I'll be any help from here on out.
oh, that's great. That we're in real trouble now.
yeah, 15 more books in the realm of the Elderlings. So yeah, we've got a ways to go for sure. Chadia says hello, Kay.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you're not subscribed to Kay's Hidden Shelf, there is a link in my description for this video below. You can make sure and check her out and subscribe and so yeah, please do that. Kay is awesome.
No, thank you. As are you.
Thank you. I read Assassin's Apprentice, and that's it from Hob. Oh, you have the entire realm of the Elderlings. Okay, so you just got to get through the rest of the series. Then yeah.
He's like, thanks, BookTube.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what I blame you and BookTube for, like my TBR like exploding. So
right, and so does your bank account, right?
We don't
no,
talk
because
about
I
that.
try to use.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
I try, you know me, I try to use the library lot. So in Hoopla. So I've actually done okay. And I try to buy like the used books in really good condition. So, where they're like paperbacks for $5 or like paperbacks for $2 and hardbacks. But plus husband took a massive pay cut for 6 months. So gotta watch the budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the library is a really good option, and Hoopla and Libby make it a lot easier too. So.
Yep. So Kayla, what are you gonna read?
I will be reading Baden Hill by I Anonymous. Which is book 2.
I just got mine. I haven't started it yet,
Nice.
but I finally got mine in the mail.
Yeah, I think they were a bit late coming out, but I wanted to dig back in after Gurzel.
Yeah. So Mona Lisa, if you're not familiar, that's Gurzel was his first book, and I talked about it.
You did that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like going to be what genre, but now you say Gurzel. I know exactly what you're talking about. So we're good.
Yeah, the author was kind enough to send us a copy of his second book as well. So yeah, very, very excited about that. The best way for me to describe it is it's historical fiction with a good chunk of fantasy elements. So one of the main characters in the story is a dragon who is worshipped by a cult in Britain at the time, and some think of him as a myth, but he ends up actually being real. And Gurzel's one of my favorite characters in the story, but it also follows George Bertilac, who ends up being the man who would be called George the Dragon Slayer. St. George and the Dragon, that whole thing. So, and it has some Arthur in it too. So that's kind of an Arthurian / historic fiction. Yeah. The first book was pretty good, and I'm excited to see what he does with book 2. So.
Yeah, same.
So I'll be curious to hear your thoughts so far, Kayla. When we do our next sprint, you'll get a chance to read some more.
Yeah. What are you two reading? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks.
That looks like this with the cover on.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. And you may be familiar with Elliot from her BookTube channel too. So, yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the first channels I watched, actually.
Same here.
Mine too.
Yeah. How are you guys liking it? Oh, yeah.
No, I'm reading Neverwhere. He's doing Peace and Turmoil. So
Oh, okay.
I just have my Peace and Turmoil because he didn't have the cover on his. And, so in case anybody wanted to see
Right.
the cover, because I was surprised it was gray, like looks blue, but he said it's a
Right.
gray. And I'm like, I'm kind of surprised it wasn't purple.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll show you the book. So,
No, that makes sense. That's smart.
and
So
I
you're
know she
reading.
likes purple, right?
I think so.
So that's why I was
Yeah.
really shocked when he was showing the hardback that it wasn't purple.
Hmm.
So
You might have had limited options maybe when you're self-publishing.
Yeah,
maybe.
there is that, and I think when she originally published it, she may have had less options than are available now. So
Sure.
it came out, I think it was maybe 5 years ago, maybe when her first book came out. So I think there may be a lot more options now too. So depending on who you go with as well.
Yeah.
If you go with Amazon, I think they have a lot fewer options than if you go with Ingram Spark. So.
Right.
But yeah, it's good so far. It's a slow burn to begin with, not a bad slow burn, but it's definitely a slow burn, and I'm liking it though. It's an entertaining read for sure. Maybe the budget did. Yeah, that's true. Budget
Yeah,
might have
sure.
allowed it at the time. Yeah. For sure. Well, so Kayla, we got you here now, and I figure we'll do. We did a 30-minute sprint a little bit ago. If you're good with another 30-minute sprint to start off, and then we can kind of jump back in, see where we're at after 30 minutes. I'll set the
Sounds good.
timer on my watch here.
I'm game.
And let me know if the low music in the background bothers you. I can turn it off.
All good.
Did you get my text about that?
Yeah, I did, and I turned
Okay.
it down. Is it still blaring on your end?
It was better. I
Okay.
thought it was better, but I also started listening to the audiobook with the reading, so
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, yep, I'll set my timer. I'm going to step away for a second and get some water, and then I'll be right back. All righty. I can understand that, Chadia. Good luck staying awake. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. If you need to finish up where you're at, though, that's fine. So Kayla, I'm curious, how is it?
It's good. I'm only a few chapters in. I think I just started chapter 4. But it's definitely the way he writes is something that takes a little getting used to, jumping back
Mhm.
in. But it's settling in pretty good.
Okay, cool. I'm definitely looking forward to eventually getting to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. How,
Have you?
how about you, Mona Lisa? How are things
I just finished chapter 6, so now he's in Earl's Court.
in
So-
Earl's Court? Oh, okay. that
Yeah.
yeah,
So he's
yeah,
about to meet. So they've just described the Earl, who sounds like a bum in his pajama pants and food in his beard, and
yep.
this is such a different, weird world. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I know there's bad stuff because of Croup and Vandermeer, but also everything else, like they're selling trash and they're selling all this weird stuff, and it's just very different. So
Right.
I'm enjoying it.
Yep.
So
Yep. It's definitely different for sure. Have you read Neverwhere, Kayla?
Not yet. It's one of those ones that I need to get to.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just finished reading it a few days ago, and I'd read it before though. This was a reread for me, so it's her first time reading it though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I will
yeah,
have a
I'm
review.
enjoying it more than Ocean at the end of the lane.
Mm.
I know, and the sad thing is I wanted to like it so bad because Charles loves it so much, and the first half killed me because I did it as an audiobook with Gaiman reading it, and he was so slow and just kind of monotonous that really damaged it for me. So about halfway through, I just stopped and read it, but even still, I did not love it as much as Charles. It's still a good book. I enjoyed the story. I'm still thinking about it and pulling stuff out of it, but I just didn't love it as much as he did.
Yeah,
And so I'm enjoying Neverwhere a lot more.
I mean, everyone's got different tastes, right? And all it takes is one thing to throw you off of a book, too. So, yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying this one more.
Well, I've definitely tried to separate the audiobook portion of Ocean from the story in and of itself, and just looking at the story. And the story in and of itself is good. I'm not with Charles as it's the best book I've ever read. So yeah. But I definitely can agree that one thing can throw you off. And for me, Neil Gaiman reading his own book threw it off for me. I'm doing the audiobook for Neverwhere, but he does different voices, and he's just not reading as slow, so it's much more engaging for me this time. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And there's pictures.
I was telling her the other day that I think part of it has to do with Neverwhere's was much earlier in his career, and I think when he did the audiobook for that, he was a lot younger too, and so maybe with age he's gotten more relaxed in his audiobook narration.
Yeah, I kind of found a groove.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that, but also I just think there's a different tone to the two books.
There is.
Right? I mean, there is adventure in Ocean, but it's more of
it's heavier
book. So I don't think you want to read it with kind of a lighthearted feel about it. Whereas Neverwhere, I mean, it's not heavy in the same sense. It's still darkish, but it's not as dark in a lot of respects as Ocean. So it makes sense. Maybe he was just trying to create an overall tone. I mean, it could have been that between Ocean and so. Oh no! When you do an interview with him, Charles, you'll have to ask him.
Right? Yeah, one of these days for sure.
Yeah.
And Neverwhere is much more whimsical too, I think,
Mhm.
in a lot of ways. So um,
A lot more action.
a lot more action, yeah. Chadia says I listened to him reading the Graveyard Book and loved it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've read the Graveyard Book and absolutely love it. I haven't done the audiobook yet though, so
I'm gonna do it in October, so I'm excited now that she said
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, all of it. I don't know if I'll reread Graveyard in October, but I definitely want to reread it at some point and do the audio. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I need to read more of his books. So far, I've read 3, I think. And I so far I'm liking his stories, but I feel like you need to be careful and you need to know what you're going into before you start one of his books.
Yeah, for sure. So you read Ocean, Kayla,
I did. I read American Gods as well and Stardust.
and stuff. Okay, good, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I wanted to read Neverwhere and The Graveyard Book, but there are some that I've read the captions for, and I'm just like, that sounds like a trap. I don't know if I'm quite ready to jump into that.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, eventually, maybe one of these days. It is a really
Mhm.
fun book. I did like Stardust.
Mm.
It, I think I like the movie more actually, which is
Okay.
yeah, or I should say I like the ending for the movie more. I think.
Right. I don't
Uh,
remember the movie. It's been
okay,
so long since I've watched it.
yeah, yeah, I get it. Um, but
Isn't
they're both really good, and I did like American Gods, but it's definitely not my favorite Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
isn't American Gods like the myth, like Greek mythology?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Greek and Norse. There's a mixture of a lot of different mythologies in there, but it's very heavy on the Norse mythology. Yeah, but there's some Greek and stuff in there as well. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. American Gods it's good. It's just I don't know, for some reason it didn't click with me like other Game of books have.
Yeah, I remember I got that book as a recommendation years ago, and someone told me this is fantasy, you'll love it. And when I started it, I was just like, "Wait, this is fantasy?" So someone said this is fantasy. So it threw me off a bit and took me quite a few years to try it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
it's not
definitely a
fantasy though.
well, it is, but
Yeah.
it's more of it's more about the ancient gods trying to reclaim their hold on the world, in a world that is fastly starting to worship the gods of technology. And the gods of technology are also personified in the book. So
Mm.
there are actual gods behind the technology, and so it's different. It's
Yeah.
really different.
Then the non-fantasy element that it kind of starts off with is you tend to start off in the perspective of the main character. I think his name is Shadow, and he's
Yes.
basically he's being released from prison and trying to get his life back together sort of thing. And that part kind of threw me a bit because I wasn't expecting it to be about an ex-prisoner, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I would have had trouble knowing where the book was going if that's how it opened. I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was before the time of like BookTube or any online internet stuff.
Nobody could help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that one random stranger who recommended it at the bookstore, but I'll never see them again.
That would have been nice.
It definitely has some highlights, and I think maybe maybe at some point I do want to read a Nancy Boys, which is kind of like a side journey for one of the characters in American Gods.
Neat.
It follows Mr. Nancy and his son, I believe,
Hmm.
and then and I have read. There's two short stories that are tied into it as well. The Monarch of the Glen and I forget what the other one's called. One of them is in Trigger Warning, and one of them is in Fragile Things.
Okay.
So those are both American God short stories, and those help expand the character of Shadow and Mr. Wednesday a little bit. So I enjoyed those. It's funny. I read the one in Trigger Warning before I ever read American Gods, so I kind of did that backwards. I
Right.
didn't realize at the time. I'm like, oh, so this is about the guy in American Gods. I had no idea. So, but I was new to gaming at that point. So, but eventually, maybe I'll reread it after I read Anansi Boys or something and figure that out. Chaudia, Light to Norse Mythology. Yeah, I do too, Chaudia, very much. Have either of you read Norse mythology?
Not yet.
Oh, it's so good. His take on the wedding at Freya, I was dying. It was so funny. I was just laughing hysterically. It is so good. So yeah, they're all good though.
Is Norse mythology like Greek, part of Greek mythology? Like,
It's
okay,
not.
so when it comes to like Roman, Greek, whatever mythology stuff, I know nothing. Like, I know names, but I don't necessarily know how they're interconnected. It's not something that I've ever been interested in reading.
A lot of the mythologies are very similar to each other, but some are more ancient than others. Like I think Norse is one of the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Greek, and then you have Roman. So the Romans kind of copied the Greeks and just changed the names. The Greeks kind of did the same thing with Norse mythology. So they all have their pantheons, and they more or less just name them different things with a few exceptions and differences. But yeah, I think Norse is one of the oldest ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the Poetic Eddas date back to, Kayla, you might know this. I'm trying to remember how old the Poetic Eddas are, but
Oh gosh.
where the Norse fairy tales or where the Norse mythology came from.
Yeah. It's
Um,
it's old.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
it is old. It's
But
old.
I know it's after that I think the Gaelic mythology followed too.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so having read that stuff, would I like it? Do you think I'd like it, Chaz? Because you kind of know.
Yeah, I think you would like the Norse mythology, especially because his Norse mythology book is basically it's just a bunch of short stories taken out of the original writings and source material, but Gaiman puts his own spin and flair on it.
Do you have to read the original stuff? Okay.
Not at all. You don't have to read the originals, but you'll see a lot of familiars. Odin and Thor and Loki. That's all from Norse mythology. So
Okay, I don't know the first one. I recognize the other two though.
yeah,
I don't like. I know like Zeus and this and that. Like I know a few names, but I just have never followed the Roman, Greek, and obviously Norse mythology. Like that's nothing that's ever interested me. So I feel, and I know a lot of books have come out in the past few years watching BookTube about retellings and stuff of all of these different things, and I'm like, well, they sound interesting, but I don't know if I want to. If I would enjoy it, and two, do I want to start down that road when I've got so many other things to read? It's like kind of not picking your poison, but kind of picking which rabbit trail you want to head down.
yeah, absolutely. Well, and Norse mythology is a good short book altogether. So there's short stories in it, but it's a short book in and of itself, and pretty easy to get through. And Odin would be the Norse counterpart to Zeus, and Thor would be the Norse counterpart to
Hercules, maybe?
Hercules, I think. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, so they're all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all copied each other.
Okay,
Pretty
I
much.
gotcha. I gotcha.
I did a bit of Googling because you had me curious there. It says that the core of Norse mythology can be traced back to the 5th century AD or even further.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah, that sounds exactly right. Yeah, Chadia says it will all be explained in the books, and it is. Yeah, you'll see a lot of that.
I'm just wondering if reading those would make me interested in reading like the actual initial stories and stuff to get the foundation of it, or if I should read the foundational stuff first. You know me, I like to be in sequence.
Yeah,
So,
I think you should wet your taste buds with his version and
okay,
see if it sparks your interest in the originals. I
that's
have
true.
not personally read the originals. I don't know if I will.
Slacker.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you know this, Caleb, but Charles and I have known each other for like 24 years.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Yeah, so if we get a little weird, we apologize because
It's fine. That's what best friends are for, right?
that's
exactly
right.
that or throw you under the bus, one of the two.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the Greeks and the Norse and that. Yeah, they all like. Well, yeah, they do. They all like annoying each other.
So it's like family.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
I've heard that as well. Stephen Fry has a book of the Greek stories, and I've heard it's fantastic. Stephen Fry is fantastic, so I have no doubt that his book is just as fantastic as he is. So, yeah.
How long have you known about? How long have you two known about Stephen Fry?
Uh, I don't know if I can give a number. I just,
Yeah.
I've just always watched him in movies and
Mhm.
known about him. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
same
my
here. That.
first. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's okay. Go ahead.
No, because you're going to answer my question, which I should let you answer.
Well, the first movie I actually ever saw him in was Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. Oh no, I'm sorry, Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows with Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
The second Sherlock movie because he played Mycroft Holmes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then since then I've seen him in other stuff, and I think he was in. Kayla, was it Faulty Towers or one of the old British sitcoms?
Oh, there's so many of them though.
So
There are.
I heard the name, but I didn't know who he was. And then he was on Bones as a psychiatrist, and that was my first role. And I mean, I think I'd probably seen him like in the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr., but I really didn't have a clue who he was. And then all of a sudden, people started talking about him all the time. I'm like, who is so? Yeah, he's done a bunch of BBC stuff and whatnot, but I really had no clue. And everybody's like, oh yeah, he's great. And I was like,
Yeah.
he's on Bones. That's that's all I had a reference for. I don't know that I've really watched him in much besides those Sherlock movies. I probably
There's
have. I
also
just
a version of the complete Sherlock Holmes collection that he narrates on Audible too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And where'd I put it?
he's got a really smooth voice for narration.
He does.
That
Yeah.
does make sense.
I think he was in Blackadder with Rowan Atkinson and
Oh.
the actor who plays House.
Rowan Atkinson.
Did you guys ever watch that?
Nope.
No, it's a really old one.
House?
Yeah, the actor who plays House in House MD, he plays like a buffoon in this British sitcom. It's called Blackadder, and Rowan Atkinson. They're hilarious in it.
Hugh.
I didn't know Rowan Atkinson was in House.
No, he wasn't in House.
Okay.
He was in Blackadder with the actor who played
Oh,
House.
okay. Got
Hugh
it.
Laurie, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, because the only thing I know Rowan Atkinson from is Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
And,
Most
and
people.
of course Johnny English too, which
Yes.
I haven't seen the sequel to Johnny English, but the original one was great.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, they were
Mr.
kind of-
Bean like America's Pee Wee Herman? You
Oh,
think?
England's Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah,
I don't know. They're very different.
they are different, but like their version, because their humor is different than our humor.
Yeah, definitely.
He's the more stoic, not as wild and crazy Pee Wee Herman. He's like the subdued version.
I guess so.
I don't
I've
know.
never really seen Pee Wee Herman, so I can't speak to that one.
It's probably popped into my head because what's the guy's real name? Paul something. He
Paul
turned
Rubin,
70. Yeah, he's turning 70.
Oh, wow.
right? And he's had kind of a little resurgence too. He's been in a few different things. He was in Gotham, and he's also in What We Do in the Shadows briefly. So
Wow.
And
uh,
didn't he do some sort of a drug cartel Mexican something movie? I know my brother watched it. He was in it, and apparently it was like a real serious thing, and he did
Hmm.
really well. People were really impressed with that. But I was just surprised Pee Wee Herman was turning 70. So
yeah, a lot of Wander Under the Bridge. I only ever saw a few episodes of Pee Wee's Playhouse, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a little little weird.
Yeah.
I did see that his movie, Pee Wee's Big Adventure or whatever.
Yeah.
When he does the tequila dance on top of the bar.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't think I
He's doing
saw
like
that.
the little. Anyway,
Yeah.
I remember that. That's like about the only thing I remember from the movie, though. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Chadia says that the Greek stories by Stephen Fry are even better than Gaiman's book. Wow,
I'm
I
intrigued.
definitely have to read that. Yeah, Chadia doesn't know who he is. You're not missing much, to be perfectly honest with you. You're really not.
Don't Google. It's okay. Don't
Yeah.
Google.
yeah. I think I know who he is from pictures and like a 30-second clip that I noped out of. That's, that's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, definitely. Well, so it's I know it's about 7 p.m. your time, Kayla,
Mhm.
and yours as well, right?
Mhm.
Mona Lisa, it's about 7 p.m. How are you guys with? Do you want to continue, or should we go ahead and end it here? What do you think?
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys because you guys have been on longer than I have.
Let me ask husband if he needs help with dinner. Hold on.
Okay. I can probably only do one more sprint myself. So,
No, we're good. I can do one more.
okay. All right, cool. I won't, but I'm going to leave you guys. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, get some good sleep, Chadia. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Have a good night.
Good job on hanging out for the. I didn't think she'd still be awake, honestly. So good
Right.
job.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised. Okay. Well, I'll do one more 30-minute sprint, and then we can tie everything up and go our separate ways for the night. All right.
Sounds
This is
good.
fun. Okie dokie. Feel free to finish up if you need to. It's totally cool.
You're so rude. You keep interrupting my reading.
Sorry about that. Hello,
No, you're
guys. Good to see you.
It's all part of sprinting.
It
I
is. Yeah, unfortunately. So, how'd you do? How'd it go?
I've read. Go ahead, Kayla. You can answer first.
Yeah. I've gotten to about 54 pages in, and I'm just in the section where we're breaking down some Arthurian Britain lineage history in the form of like a very aggressive verbal match.
Awesome.
Kind of helpful for me. I know of Arthurian legends and whatnot, but not the details of the lineage and all of these very specific people who are son of or daughter of and so
Mhm.
on.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different lineages depending on who's telling the Arthurian legends too. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm sure it gets kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Cool. How about you, Mona Lisa?
I did like 50 pages in the
That's
past,
good.
well, 2.5 hours that we've been live. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. I'm like, Dor and Richard have just got into the British Museum, and the Marquis is talking to Old Bailey. So,
Nice.
Yeah. I want to say that I feel like one of these characters is going to be the guy that's trying to get Dor killed, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I know you. You know me and my theories. I know, and you don't ever give anything away.
I know. I'm good like that.
You
Best
are.
kind of
I
friendship.
do appreciate that. So,
I try anyway. I try to avoid spoilers.
but then you let me ramble for 20 minutes on Marco Polo, and then you come back and go, interesting. I like your theories. I'm not going to say anything. 20-minute ramble for like, I'm not saying anything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get so little out of me.
I really do. Why are we friends?
Right? I got 50 pages read too, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, that's and it just like really like I got to some major action just as I was finishing up with this last sprint. So I have a feeling it's going to start really picking up from here on out. So yeah. For Kaiju, since you just joined, I was reading Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks, and Mona Lisa is reading Neverwhere, and Kayla is reading Baden Hill. Yeah.
Mhm. So I have a question for you, Chaz.
Yeah.
For the one that you're reading, I've heard that it's very heavy with politics. Have you found that so far?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
heavy with politics.
All right. That's good to know. I do like politics and books. I just wasn't sure because you never know when you're hearing stuff online if it's actually that heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you never know what to expect, but it's definitely very heavy on the politics. Yeah.
Okay.
And doesn't
It,
she like politics in books? Like she likes a good political intrigue stuff going on.
right. Yeah, she does. Yeah. Yeah, Elliot does like a lot of that kind of thing. So,
Hmm.
yeah. And and she's also a big fan of Japanese RPGs, specifically Final Fantasy. And I can see some of the influence in the book from that too. So
Oh, neat.
yeah. Um,
So you're like halfway through now?
you're welcome. Yeah, so this would put me almost halfway through, not quite, but almost. Yeah, yeah. It's a 700-page book, so I'm at page 258. So yeah, about 35%. About. Mhm.
I want to know if Alvin is still on and how far he got in his book. Because
Yeah,
apparently he just like got sucked into his and didn't care what we were saying.
yeah. I saw that he had said he was getting caught up in his book, so that's good. Um,
So
but
we'll see
yeah,
if he answers or not.
yeah. Yeah, I
And he
felt like
was
this was really productive, though. I really appreciate you guys joining me for the reading sprints. This was kind of fun.
welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I don't know. I don't know. We probably would have had dinner by now, but
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
but I'm not having to cook it, so I'm okay with
Right.
this.
Yeah, so Matt's probably wondering, is she ready to eat yet?
I know he is, but he's always ready to eat. So
He's like me. Yeah,
yeah,
I
he is.
know. I'm going straight from this to cook dinner.
What are you having?
I'm making quiche.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that was my daughter's request, and I've never made quiche before, but can't be that hard. I found a good
it's not.
recipe for it, so I'm excited.
What are you putting in it?
Well, other than eggs,
Thank you.
uh, sorry, I'm adding broccoli, artichoke hearts, mushrooms, um, and diced tomatoes, and seasonings. I'll
Yeah.
probably throw some Italian seasoning in there and garlic powder. And, yeah, lots of garlic powder. I love garlic, so
It's a good seasoning.
it is. Polish it off with a nice white wine to pair it with. So yeah.
Very
Have
nice.
you had dinner, Kayla?
Yeah, I ate before I hopped on.
Would
Just
you
some,
have?
just a salmon veggie wrap.
Oh,
Had to use
nice.
some of those leftovers in the fridge, and they work well in a nice wrap.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good. What
Grilled
are you
cheese,
having?
and we're gonna add bacon and sautéed onion to it.
Oh, that
Ooh,
sounds good.
nice.
And for the first time ever, we're trying homemade tomato soup. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh,
That sounds really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good combo.
Ham and cheese quiche is absolutely, yes, very delicious.
Mm.
Yeah. Or with spinach. Yeah. I'll be throwing some spinach in mine too, I think. Yeah.
I always thought they were like difficult to make, and then I love quiche, but it's so hard. I don't want to. And then we ended up making it, and it's literally like the eggs, the cream, the seasoning, and whatever veggies or meat you want to throw in there. So
Mhm.
he likes peppers, so he tends to do peppers and sausage, and I'm like artichoke hearts, mushroom, asparagus, mushroom. Did I say that already? Yeah, but yeah. So yeah,
That's cool. Hedgie thinks we should have a cooking show. That might be kind of fun. And I have to figure out how to set it up because like I always have my phone with me when I'm in the kitchen. You know, I'll be playing an audiobook or something like that. But I think you can only do StreamYard on mobile if you have if you pay for it. So,
Right.
but we might have to we could maybe figure out something else, and that would be fun.
it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Work it all
definitely
out.
would be. Do you like to cook, Kayla?
I do. I don't get to cook as much nowadays, but I try and go for quick, easy meals if I can, like the wrap. Just toss some lettuce in there, cut up some veggies, leftover meat, and voila.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you. Especially with young kids at home,
Yeah,
that
that's
that
what's
makes
doing
it
it.
hard to do much fancy cooking.
Not much nowadays. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I used to bake bread and do all this crazy
Oh,
cooking and
love
stuff, and
baked bread. Oh,
yeah, it's been like 2 years.
yeah.
I miss it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so. I have never made bread, but I've always no. I take that back. I've made Irish soda bread, but
Oh, nice.
I've never made like other types of bread. So
Yeah, I used to make it every week.
mm,
It's so good.
that's so yummy, and it beats buying it at the store too. It's so
Mhm.
much cheaper to make your own. So I should do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't get all the stuff that they put in it. The thing though is that if you do make it from scratch, it can't sit around as long because it doesn't have all
Mhm.
the preservatives in it. So you have to like make sure you're gonna eat it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, make
One nice
smaller
thing,
batches.
yeah, or you can freeze it too if
yep.
you're
Oh,
all right with
really?
that as
That's
well.
true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I
Well,
used to just pre-slice it, pop it in the freezer, and then when I wanted some, I'd just toast it, and it was
ooh,
like
I
new.
like that idea. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Maybe we should just have one video of like all of us talking about cooking and how we cook things and what we like to do.
We
Swap
might
recipes.
have to have a snack with us while we do that though, because it's gonna make us hungry. So
Yeah. Well, Charles and I, the last like 3 weeks, have been talking about our meal plan for the week. So we're like this, like, oh, that sounds
Um,
good. Send me that recipe, and it's been kind of fun to bounce ideas off of each other. But yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, totally. This is great. I'll always talk about food. I love food.
yeah, I am wondering. So we're working on a doctor. I do wonder how much our cooking's going to have to change or will change once we get kids in the house. I think it'll depend on the ages we get, but
Okay.
yeah, because I don't think a lot of the meals that we make are complicated. It's just,
Mm.
and I'm not quick. Like some people cook and they're done in 20 minutes. I'm like still an hour later, like cutting stuff up.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that changes because we like trying new things, but we have some really, some meals that are our favorites. So
Mm. Yeah, we've kind of taken to where we can making the meals that we enjoy and giving our kids something different because we've tried it and multiple times and it just ends up on the floor. So we've just taken to kind of doing that in the meantime. He's very small too, um, not talking yet, right? So
yeah,
we've kind of done that in the meantime. Maybe that's
Mhm.
something you can consider if you need
Yeah,
to.
definitely. Well, and my parents said I used to eat everything, and then I started school, and people were like, "Ew, you're eating that," and I became a super picky eater.
Yeah.
But when I was
Oh.
even younger, for a while, for months apparently, the only thing I would eat was Cheerios. My
Oh
mom thought I
wow.
was like something was wrong with me. Like, no, kids go through these phases where they only like certain foods or certain textures, and so kids tend to grow out of that. And so
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that in mind too. You may not like broccoli today, but you may like it next week, and then 3 months later you won't like it again. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. Sometimes that's the way it is. Yeah.
and then they grow into a mad who eats everything.
Yes. But
Exactly.
giving them the opportunity is the important part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
You know,
tried.
and
Yeah.
So Kaji's
yeah.
30-minute meals take
Yes.
2 hours. That's me right
Yeah.
there. Like
She is my people.
I have no sense of time when I'm cooking. Before I know it, I'm like, oh wait, I was supposed to have dinner ready already, and it's I
Yeah.
got 30 minutes to go. Okay, she has a 21-month-old. Yeah, that.
I feel for you. Mine's 18 months.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm, I'm the well. I shouldn't say I'm the lucky one, but my kids are older, so I am
Mm.
lucky. But
You did your time though.
I did my time. Yeah, yeah, and they're 15 months apart, so
Oh wow.
yeah, I felt like I was doing double time.
Yeah, you took you longer to get out of that newborn phase.
Yep, it sure did. But it was fun. I wouldn't change it. They're good kids,
Yeah.
and they somehow turned out all right. So,
Yeah. That's good.
despite Dad being a weirdo, they somehow turned out okay. So it's all good.
Yeah, but you're the fun weirdo dad. You're not like
I
the,
am I'm a fun weirdo dad. That's true.
like my dad. You know my dad. So
Yes, I
my
do know
dad's
your
like the I don't want to introduce my friends to them, right, Charles?
Yeah, yeah. Although it sounds like he's mellowed a bit in certain ways. So
Yeah.
in his as he gets older. So
So tell Kayla and the audience about the first time you met my dad, just for
oh
fun.
gosh, how much time do we have?
It
Well,
wasn't. You don't have to like. It
so,
was so
so she
embarrassing.
and I both grew up in a really strong religious background,
Mm.
and so but her family is from one side of that of the Christian perspective. They are much more Reformed theology, Presbyterian background, and stuff like that. Whereas I was from more of a like Baptist, non-denominational background, and so I ended up telling her some of my thoughts on one of the reformers, John Calvin, and she had told her dad that prior to me visiting, and oh boy, did
One
I
of her
get
great.
And here's the thing: the only
or
thing was we were stopping by the house for me to pick up something because we were on our way to a party. So it
Mhm.
wasn't even supposed to be like a 45-minute stop or whatever it was. It was just supposed to be, hey, this is my friend Charles. This is Laura. And Dad goes, oh, Charles. Oh.
And it all went from there.
I felt so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. So then it like went around school amongst our friends in college. Like, okay, so don't meet Christina's dad. Don't like, because it was like, so if he knows your theology and he disagrees, he's going to sit down with you and tell you why you're wrong. And I was like,
Yeah.
So-
Have you mentioned to your? I forgot if I've asked you this. Have you mentioned to your dad that I'm a heathen now? I mean, he thought I was one then. No, I'm kidding. I don't
No.
think.
I haven't. I think I have.
Yeah.
I think I have, and I have other friends who have done weird things, so I don't know. He kind of just took it in stride. So,
I like how you said that. Weird things.
or they've done weird things, or they've made decisions that he wouldn't agree with, or whatnot. But I do have to agree. I think he's mellowed kind of in his older age. Not that his opinion is any less strong, but I think when it comes to like, I think in Mike's family, he'll express it strongly, but like when he meets that person, I think he's a bit mellow. Plus, I've also said, don't pull what you did with him.
Yeah. Right.
Like, don't do this to him, what you did to Chaz. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Set a foundation.
Right.
With some parents, you have to. So, and with my dad, definitely have to. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to go ahead and end it here. That way we can all go eat.
Kayla can go have dessert.
Yes.
Yeah, have dessert, exactly.
Most important meal of the day.
Amen. I love you.
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
was fun, and don't worry about it. I'm glad you came. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
It was
Even
great
just
seeing y'all.
minutes. Yeah, we'll definitely do this
thank you.
again. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
video will be up. My first video will be up soon. I promise. Charles won't let me not have it up soon.
Right? Yeah,
Yay.
she'll hear about it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Thank you both for joining me, and thanks everybody in the comments for joining us for some reading sprints. And we'll have to do this again sometime.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
First video, yes. Yeah,
Thank
excited
you.
to see what she
That's
does with it.
exciting.
All right, well, thank you. Have a good night, and we'll talk later.
See ya.